Well, I'd like to welcome my guest, Alex Galvin.
Thank you.
He is my cousin and also my gaming partner with a lot of things.
Oh yeah, big time.
Big
Gamer.
I carry him in a lot of games like Rocket League, right?
Well, that's debatable.
Well, I mean, like I taught you everything you know. You went to Penn State for Rocket League, and I got you in there with my acceptance letter.
Pretty much everything about that sentence was just false.
Yeah, some bullshit. All right, well, we're gonna be talking about some cool things today, like gaming. I know you watch anime. I mean, we've discussed that multiple times,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah, and then I got a few
bit.
questions. You're in college now, so I got a couple questions about that, and
Yeah.
that's where we're gonna go. Get out the nerves, feel good. I know that this is your
Yeah.
first time doing it, my second time doing it, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess one of the things that I'd like to talk about first with you is I'd probably like to talk about your college experience because I think that's an interesting thing to talk about right now.
Yeah.
How is it going to college during COVID?
It's weird because I feel like pretty much every adult or even like the people I work with that ask about it, they're like, "Oh man, it must really suck." Like because it was my freshman year, and you have to do classes online. I was at least lucky enough to go to Penn State. Like a lot of my friends didn't even go to college.
Yeah.
They had to stay home just do online classes, which sucks. And even going to Penn State, it kind of sucked. Wasn't as good as I would hope my freshman year was, just because kind of sat in my dorm a lot. I think that was like the biggest thing was that because classes were online, it's a lot more just like on my laptop and sitting in my room doing work. It's because when you're going to classes, like you're out and about a lot of the day, and then you get back and do work. But I was kind of just in my room a lot. So.
The social situation's got to be weird. That dynamic is probably so off. I mean, how do you make friends? It's got to be weird.
See, I wouldn't even know how to answer that in like a normal situation. So for Zoom University,
it really is. But
yeah.
like, would you change it? Would you have gone and stayed home if that were the option again?
Definitely not. I think going to school was good. I mean, I did find a good amount of friends. I think this biggest difference of social thing was like, I'm not like the biggest partier, and frats were like a big part of basically like the social life on campus.
Yeah.
More than usual.
Okay.
Like frat initiate classes were basically like double the size they usually are.
Okay.
So like that was the only thing to do because you couldn't really party unless it was off campus. And like apartments aren't really like big party places, so frats were like the big thing. So I feel like socially it like basically just moved a lot more to Greek life and like.
And you're not big on Greek life.
No, yeah, I didn't join one. My roommate's joining one, so I'll probably be able to go out with him if I want to, but I didn't really.
I mean, yeah, the frat life was always. I mean, when I went to college, I went to Rowan, so it's definitely not even close to being as big as Penn State. Penn State. Yeah. I mean, is one of the biggest campuses, I think, on the East Coast, I would assume, right? Main campus it's a giant college town.
There's like 40,000 kids. Like, I know Florida has a lot of big schools, but like other than that, in the East Coast, Penn State's one.
Oh, well, yeah, there's like Miami and stuff. I might move the camera this way so you can see like your face and not just mine. But we'll get to that if I need to.
Yeah, I mean, I can look that way more.
No. It's more or less like if I put the camera, I guess, like right there, maybe it would look a little bit better. But I mean, you know what? We can go off this for now. It's not a big deal.
We'll see.
But yeah, with the whole Greek life situation, for me, I went to a school. Rowan's not a big school at all. It's an in-state school. It was a lot cheaper than going out, and the fact that I was late with registration a lot because I was a lazy fuck and wrote like 3 schools. Didn't get into Delaware. Fuck Delaware.
Yeah, I mean Delaware out of state's pretty expensive too.
Fuck Delaware.
Yeah. I agree. Fuck Delaware.
They fucking lost. Great student in me. Dropped out of 2 years.
Funny enough, one of my friends who goes to Delaware said he hates it and that he wish he didn't go there.
Is it because of COVID?
Yeah, because Delaware, Penn State. It's a lot less strict. Delaware's like you can't do anything. Like even in the dorms, like he said, like sneaking around is like impossible. So it was just like, and all the students are in their own room, so he doesn't even have his roommate to hang out with. So he hated it. Yeah.
Damn, bro. That's my biggest fear if I were someone deciding whether or not to go to college. Because I talk to people about this and they get mad about their kids going because they're thinking, oh well, he's wasting money. But at the same time, I learned a lot of my social skills as well as making lifelong friends and, learning to be independent is a lot of college. And even more so, I feel like with COVID, because you have to really survive. I mean, you have to manage wearing a mask on top of managing your classrooms with all the fucking distractions you possibly could have.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone views college as like the middle of like being a kid and an adult. You're like, you're kind of independent, but you don't really have to worry as much about like being an adult.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's it's like a good stepping stone. And then I don't know, COVID just makes everything really weird.
Oh, don't worry. When you're out of college, you still won't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, but you're responsible for a lot more.
No,
Even if you're
oh, you're responsible. Oh my god, I have so much shit I have to worry about, but I don't fucking know what I'm doing. I'm 25, 24.
Yeah.
I almost said 25. Yeah, we were talking about that. We were
Old.
talking about how fucking everybody's getting old.
Yeah.
Fucking your brother's gonna be 30. Me and Dave are gonna turn 25. Fucking Jeff's gonna be what, like 28. Like, time moves so fast, man.
Yeah, 30 to me right now is like old. That's like you're like a full blown adult.
Oh my god, dude, and I don't even feel like it. I feel like I'm still in college. I'm not gonna lie, I still feel like that. Like I still like go out sometimes and I get trashed, and I'm like, I don't why. This is not what adulthood's supposed to be like, is it?
Brings you back, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. I don't know.
You move on, you start to learn. There are definitely things that I look back on now, and I've talked about this before. I look back when I was 19 and I was a freshman, and I'm like, wow, I was fucking dumb. Like,
I feel like you can look back on any part of life.
oh,
like
100%. When you're young, you look back and you're like, wow, I'm an idiot. But it's cool to have those experiences, because those are the things that are building blocks, like you said, to get better as a person. You start to learn what you can and can't do. You start to learn, okay, well, I need to eat today. Like, I can't even describe how many times when I was in college where I would just forget to eat. Like, it would just be like eating candy and fucking snacks all day.
Especially, I'm in my dorm. I'm in class from like 9 to 1, and I'm in my dorm that entire time.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even like, oh, on the way to my next class I can eat. It's like I'm in my room. I need to go places to get food.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's just so much more of like you need to focus on it.
Yeah, that has to be one of the biggest issues right now is managing. Like, you really have to manage your life. It's not like, oh, if you don't show up to class, like you're fucked. I mean, like, you could always just blame, your internet or some bullshit, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a lot more like on you.
Yeah,
Like,
because if you miss classes, you fail.
Yeah, exactly.
And as is, college is like that in general. College is everything is on you. If you don't make that decision, you're fucked. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that sucks.
In terms of like classes being on you, like at least my physics professor basically like wouldn't hold reviews, just read off slides for class. Like I had to teach myself the entire class, and like obviously that probably happens in person too, but online it was even more so. Like I couldn't even go to him, and like I couldn't talk to him after class. He just signed off.
They didn't have office hours?
They did, but a lot of the time it was like TAs and stuff. Like it wasn't even my professor. Yeah. My professor, he was kind of, I didn't like him.
He wasn't a good guy.
He was a good guy, smart guy, just didn't care at all about the class.
Well,
so that made it hard,
Listen, bro, I went through that shit with teachers where I switched my major like 30 times. And one of the things that I went through with teachers was I would get kicked out of the classroom. And the reason why I'd get kicked out of the classroom is because I was a little fucking asshole, and I thought I knew more than them. Now, I'm not saying I knew more than them, because there's no way in fucking hell I knew more than somebody who was fucking 40 years fucking on my
doctorate,
literally a doctorate and all that stuff. But I would have good questions, because I would say, why am I writing a paper that I could spell out in a page, and you're asking me to write it in 6 pages? You're asking me to take content and stretch out bullshit. Like, I thought we were here to learn and explain our points, not just spew out dog shit and hope for the best.
I had like the exact opposite in where, because I'm not like an English major. I wasn't writing much, but when I did have a philosophy class, like, because they literally told us like they didn't want to grade so much, so our papers had a maximum of like 1,000 words. But I mean, philosophy, you can go off and talk.
Oh my god, you can go forever.
I got like an 85 because I basically ran out of space and didn't know how to like push it all like into a smaller format or whatever. And the maximum word count was literally like the reason I didn't get a good grade in the paper, or like I got like 15 points off just because it wasn't long, or it was like it ended abruptly basically.
And that's where I agree with you. I have the same kind of thing where I don't believe in minimums or maximums, because like if you can get your point across in 10 pages, or if you can get it across in a page, what's the difference? Why? As long as I'm explaining to you my work and getting it across and proving my point in an intellectual way, I mean, like,
there's a lot of things like that. I mean, college in general, like people on tests are like, this is a multiple choice question. If I get it wrong, this is worth like 1% of my overall grade just on one multiple choice question. Like,
yeah.
On like, I forget it one day out of the week, because I mean, a lot of people have test anxiety and stuff. Like, does that really mean like I should get a lower grade and then lower GPA, and like, and then eventually should I not get that job because I didn't know 2 multiple choice questions, you know?
But you think that college will affect your job that much? Do you think
it depends what you're doing, of course.
Well, let me ask you, if you're in physics, right? You're staying in physics. So if you stay in physics and you graduate with all C's as compared to all A's, will that make a difference in getting a job? Or does the degree just hold up?
So I think it depends really heavily on what kind of job and what you want to do. So basically, like, my advisor said that for jobs, it definitely matters less. Like, experience in college and, like, doing research and stuff matters more than GPA if you're getting a job.
Yeah.
But he said for grad school, and, like, if I wanted to get my PhD, he said GPA basically directly will get you into that level.
Okay, I can get that. Like, when it comes to a grad school thing, because in the beginning, I'm assuming that grad school is what's going to get you in the door for experience. As opposed, you can't just go up to a job and say, yeah, I have experience when you have no experience. You have to at least prove your worth.
I mean, physics is, like, a lot different because, like, different engineering jobs, a lot of people don't go to grad school for engineering. Engineering is a very, like, you go to school, maybe you get your master's, but then you go into the workforce. Like, physics, a lot of the time, you can go get a job at a company pretty easily without a grad degree, but a lot of people want to do research. So there's a difference, at least in physics, between, like, getting a job versus, like, getting your degree and then going and doing research. It's kind of complicated, but, I mean, kind of cycling back, like, GPA does matter for some things, but it doesn't at all. And, like, some people put way too much emphasis on it, of course.
Yeah, GPA is like the degree. At the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. I mean, as long as you have the knowledge, you're still able to do the job. It's just your credentials, really. It's just showing who...
I was just talking to my mom the other day about, like, someone could have a better GPA but be way less qualified, learn less from classes just because, you know, they're a better test taker.
And be a fucking idiot, really.
Literally be a fucking idiot, but just be good at taking tests. That's kind of how I am.
Yeah.
I'm good at taking tests, but, you know, I probably learn less than other kids who get worse grades than me. So, like...
I mean, it's all about what you can use in real life. At the end of the day, it's not about tests or anything. It's about what you can do in that field and be able to use it.
Yeah, and sometimes it feels like, you know, the only thing that matters is, like, how well I do on this test. But in the real world, that test doesn't matter at all.
No, it's about you providing your shit to your worker.
Yeah, it's like a weird way to be judged, basically. I mean, that's how school is.
Of course that's what school is. All right, so that's how COVID is with schooling.
Yeah.
Why did you choose physics? I feel like that is such, like, an out there thing to pick. But, I mean, at the same time, there are so many cool jobs I'm assuming you could get. Where would you want to work? What would you want to do, I guess?
I'm not sure if I want to work or get my PhD. That's still, like, I mean, I'm still a couple years away from that.
I mean, yeah, you're just finishing freshman year.
Yeah. Physics, at least, like, you can do, like, any type of engineering job, really.
Yeah.
And you can also, like, there's a lot of companies, especially, like, with satellites and stuff now, like, managing satellite networks is, like, a big thing. I mean, Elon Musk is setting up, like, hundreds of satellites.
He's going to put a Dogecoin on the moon. Do you hear that?
I did hear that.
That's going to be gangster as shit.
Yeah, he is rocket, isn't it? Like, called, like, Doge 1 or something.
That man is actually trying to bring a crypto to the moon. He's controlling crypto.
I wonder if he just thinks it's funny or if he, like, has Dogecoin and just was like, all right, let's make some money.
I think he owns, like, 43% of Doge. Like, I swear to God. Like,
no shot.
No,
really?
I swear to God. I think I read somewhere that he owns, like, 43% of Doge. Or something crazy. Like, he has the most Doge for one person. So he could just manipulate the market.
The amount of money he has, it's not surprising.
Well, what happened with Tesla stock? He fucking went from what, like a millionaire to like a straight up billionaire?
I'm pretty sure he's like close to 100 billion net worth. Like it unimaginable amounts of money.
Well, that's like that GameStop shit. I can't believe I missed out on that. I wish. Like,
dude,
those are the things I think about, and I'm like, fuck.
My brother still thinks it's going to the moon.
He's holding on to it?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day,
100K.
if he holds on to it, even if he fails out, he'll still make what, like 40 grand, 50 grand?
I think he has like 100K of it
Like,
now. Like,
that's fine.
stupid.
Like, that's fine. You're going to hold on to it. I mean, I don't think that it's going to crash anytime soon because it seemed to be pretty stable, but I think that little thing is gone. I think now it's all about crypto.
And, like, even Doge, I'm pretty sure Dogecoin's at, like, 30 cents now, where just a couple days ago it was, like, 50. Like, it's plummeting again.
I'm eventually I'm waiting, because, you know, my dumbass, this is the worst fucking thing that's happened to me in a long time, because I would have bought my motorcycle by now with this fucking cash. So, I had Doge, and I bought it at 0.03. That's fine. I had, I think, 10,000 shares of Doge. All right, cool. That's a decent amount. I sold it when it hit 0.05. Then it went up to 0.8 the next day, Fuck me. All right, would have made extra cash. Not that much more, but whatever. So then I bought it again at 0.5 when it
dipped down.
Yeah, it would dip down. I bought it at 0.05, 5 cents or whatever, and I bought, I think, like 7,000 worth. I waited. I got really fucking angry, and I needed some money. And I was like, this shit's never going to go up. I want my money back. I fucking sell it. And the next morning, it fucking goes up to, I think, 70 cents.
That's how it goes.
I would have made, like, I think $8,000.
That's so sad.
My rage the next day.
I didn't have that much. I had like $200 in it, and then I had made like $100 like pretty quickly, and I'm like, oh man, $300.
Yeah.
And if I'd waited like a week, it would have been like $1,000. So
it's
sad.
I was so incredibly upset with myself for being such a paper hands bitch. But at the end of the day, like there was no indication that was gonna happen. It was literally a crapshoot.
And like now you're seeing it's plummeting. It's like scary almost. It's like I have no clue what's gonna happen if I'm gonna make money, because you always feel good when you first do it, and then a week later if it shoots up, you're like, man.
It's gambling.
Yeah,
I mean, essentially, just crypto is just gambling, because at least stock, you kind of know a little bit. Crypto, Elon Musk takes a shit and posts it on Twitter. Everyone's like, yo, that looks like Doge. Let's buy it.
And like, so I mean, a lot of cryptos apparently have like things behind them. You know, like Bitcoin has like some technology or whatever. I have no clue.
I have no fucking clue.
Dogecoin has actually, like, apparently there's no like reason it should be valuable except for it's a meme. Like, at least other cryptos have something. Dogecoin
and that's what we can say about society, is that we are a fucking meme society.
I mean, that's how things work.
It's because my generation is now old enough to buy things.
You guys have stable jobs.
Like, we're able to just spend money on stupid shit. So we're like, every time I see a different crypto, it's to the moon. And it just pisses me off, because it's like, now I want to buy Shiba Inu coin.
And now you're like, man, if it skyrockets,
I'm rich. Like, it's fucking awful. Like, it's awful, because it's literally like a drug. Maybe Elon's got this thing where he's just trying to make us all poor. Like, he's just like, invest all your money in this.
The fact that he's $100 billion means he's already hoarding all the money. Like,
if he's $100 billion, he could do whatever. He honestly probably does things just to fuck with people. Like, he seems like a good guy.
He wanted to go to the moon, so he's like, all right, let's go to the moon.
If he puts a Dogecoin up there, I'm going to be pissed.
Dogecoin, like, the home base for Dogecoin should be on the moon. I want him to get it done.
He should start a business up there. Just put the first business on the moon. That'd be fun. That'd be fun as fuck. Having a business on the moon, like, I feel like going to work every day would be kind of dope. Low gravity.
I mean, like, why? There's no practicality of that.
That'd be awesome. All right, whatever. Fuck Elon Musk. He pissed me off by making Doge go off when I fucking needed it. All right, let's do a little gaming questions, because I know that you're a big gamer. I know that. Well, recently you haven't, because you've been home and you haven't done shit with me all day. But
true.
How's gaming impacted your life?
That's a loaded question right there.
Oh yeah, it's a loaded question.
Like, throughout all my teen years, all I did was just like play video games.
Because you're different than my generation. My generation grew up majority on console. Your generation grew up on fucking computers.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of the, like, you know, like, gamers were computers. Yeah, I mean, I was a PC kid my whole life, so.
I mean, you think about that. I couldn't really get a computer that's a desktop back then, because, you know, as a kid, desktops weren't as cheap. I mean, nowadays you can get a desktop for fucking $300 and it'll run games. Back when I was a kid, like, and I'm not talking like I'm old as shit, even though it sounds like I'm old as shit.
Back in
like,
my day.
I had a PC probably by the time I hit, I don't know, maybe 18, 17, 18. But I used like a computer, like I used my laptop when I was probably growing up, like 14 years old. We played games, all that stuff, but we didn't have majority, like, you had a keyboard, a mouse, you went all out. Like, my setup is just me compensating for being old. Like, I mean, at this
You're
point,
missing out.
yeah, I mean, I really did, but I'm happy enough that I can enjoy it now. I feel like the older generation never got to enjoy that. Now they just play. Now when everybody's in their, like, Bob, I feel like when he hops on a computer game, it's so weird, because like he played WoW, but like his generation kind of wasn't too into it.
And like, yeah, like he was big in StarCraft, but like even now, like StarCraft's faded out. Like that's like an
StarCraft
old game.
is old.
Yeah, like,
I remember he was like Diamond, wasn't he?
I think he got into like Grandmaster at one point, but he also said that he like kind of just cheesed people. So
I mean, listen, if you can't beat the cheese, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he must have been pretty good at cheesing people.
Now I know that you have a lot of different types of games that you enjoy, but what would you say is your favorite one?
I mean, I'd have to say probably Rocket League because, I mean, it was League for a while. I put like 3,000 hours on League throughout my, like teenage years. Been playing for like 8 years, but now I have like 1,500 hours in Rocket League in the past like 2 years probably.
League is starting to fade out, I think. I don't know in the general public, but I feel like whenever I start to drift away from a game, that game usually is dying out because I am definitely a casual gamer who doesn't. I've never had a game where I was just like, I'm gonna fucking throw myself into this. But League, that was probably the most game I've ever played in my life. So when it started to not be as fun to me, I don't know what happened. It feels like that it's just starting to fade out. Do you think League is fading, or do you think it's just hit this same little stream that it's always had for the past like 3 years?
I wouldn't say it's fading necessarily. Like I was on Twitch the other day and I saw that whatever like tournament had like 115,000 viewers.
Okay,
so, like,
that's fair.
That's just crazy to me, having that many people watching. Like, to me, like I would never like play it seriously again.
No,
so
right.
to me, it seems like it's fading because of that. Like I'll play it casually every once in a while.
But there are people who probably take it just as serious.
Yeah, and like some of my friends who never were in the League are just getting in the League now.
Really?
So it seems weird to me. Yeah.
I've been literally playing League of Legends since I was probably 15 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's some crazy shit. 15 or 16. Chris got me into the game. He was like, keep
funny.
playing this game, and I was like, this game looks like it's for fucking nerds. Get away from me.
And then now 9 years later, you're like talking about it.
Bro, we spent, I'm telling you, I would come home from football practice, and it would be from probably 11 at night till like, not 6 in the morning, probably like 3 in the morning. And I'd wake up for school at like 4:30, and it would just be like hell. But it was so worth it. Like, gaming then was so much fun because I feel like League, you had so many friends. That's one of the things that's awful growing up, is that you have these group of friends. You all play the games together, and then as you grow up, one friend leaves, next friend leaves, next friend leaves, next friend does his own shit. The squad fades.
That's almost the thing with League is like it's most fun, right, when you're running with a 5 squad.
Exactly.
And it's not that it's not fun, but like I played a couple games for the first time yesterday, and like I played I think only 2 games, and both of them were just like unwinnable. Like my team just sucked, Which I mean it happens. That's how it works. Like you have 3 teammates or 4 teammates. I was playing with someone. Some games are unwinnable, but unless you have 5 people, like I feel like there's the chance it's just not fun.
Yeah, the game, the League of Legends. You know who plays it now? Fucking Ninja. Ninja plays it.
I saw that. That's so weird.
And I don't know why. Listen, when you start,
I
feel like he needed to find a new game. If he didn't find a new game, that guy was gonna fade into nothingness.
What I want to know is who's still watching Ninja.
Last time I watched or checked him, not watched, because I never watched him. He was too cringy for me. I never liked his stuff, but
early Fortnite days, I thought he was kind of funny.
Oh god, I can't. What happened to Tfue? Does Tfue still stream?
I think I saw. Yeah, I saw him. He was on like how Twitch has like their like advertising things.
Yeah.
He was on advertising. He had like 18,000 viewers still.
Dude, but the thing is like compared to his old numbers,
yeah, he would be 40K easy.
Like what happened? How like this was only what a couple years ago that he was hitting 40?
Like a year ago, he was probably steady 40.
Now it seems like the life of a streamer is drastically shorter than the life of a YouTuber on average.
So I think what I would say that is like it depends whether like Tfue, he got good or he got big because he was good at Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between a content creator on YouTube and Twitch and a pro or a good person, because like once Fortnite fades out, Tfue's still like good at FPSs, but since he's not the guy, he's gonna fade out too. Like if you're a content creator, like say Ludwig, he's blowing up.
Yeah.
I don't think he will fade out nearly as fast because we don't watch him for the game. You watch him because he's him.
Yeah,
it's
that
not like
person.
That'll go away.
But he's also good at games. It's not just like he's dog shit at any game he plays. He can play some games.
He's nowhere near like.
Not pro, of course
Yeah.
not. But he's able enough to where it's not like I'm just watching some dog shit guy play a game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like Tfue now. I think he probably plays
Like Warzone.
Everyone
Yeah.
plays Warzone.
That's what the Fortnite kids went to.
Yeah, basically, and he'll probably still pull numbers. He's probably good at that. But once the big game isn't a battle royale, I wouldn't be surprised if Tfue just like has 1,000 viewers.
What happened? I don't know if battle royales are going to go anywhere though. Like that's I feel like that's the game mode that everybody's like drowning in right now.
I think we were just saying this. We need a new game. It's because there's a lack of games. Like no one wants to be playing Warzone. I feel like it's just what else are you supposed to play right now?
Well, it's because all the companies are seeing that battle royales are the big thing, and that's all they're spending their money and time on.
I guess that's true. Like every game that comes out is a battle royale.
Because at the end of the day, all they care about is money. Like I'm playing, since we're not playing a lot recently, I've been playing Red Dead. I never finished Red Dead Redemption 2. That game is probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life. And if you guys haven't played it and you haven't played it, I would 100% recommend it.
I've heard good things.
It is fucking nutty. The detail in that game. I stuck dynamite basically up this guy's ass, and his like intestines exploded.
Now that's detail.
That is a cool fucking game, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool game. So I'm just playing around with the game and the detail. And I have an HDR TV. I didn't know I had one. I mean, I just tried adding the setting once, and it never did anything. It never like added because I guess it said that it wasn't compatible. But then when I got the PlayStation 5, my TV updated somehow. And it changed one of my settings on the TV for PlayStation 5. I clicked on it.
Crazy.
The graphics are insane. Listen, I know the graphics on computer are probably 1,000 times better, but
True.
the graphics on this game were ridiculous. Like I was playing, I'm like, holy shit. And there's so many cool things you can do in Red Dead, man. Like, what was something like just the little missions that you can do on the side. You can just roam around the countryside, see some cool stuff. I want to be a fucking cowboy.
I was never into cowboys.
I want to be a cowboy. I wasn't either. I just want to be a cowboy. Play Red Dead. You want to be a cowboy.
I mean, maybe. If
I will
play,
see you wearing fucking like spurs, boots, and a hat.
Yeah, next time I'll come on with a big fucking cowboy hat.
Bro, I'm telling you, it does something to you. It makes you think of simplicity, and you're like, wow, this game is amazing. Yeah, so
that's like any good game though. Like games are immersive. That's like
exactly
the point basically.
So that's what I'm saying. We need a game like that. But the thing that's hard is games that require more than one person. The story always fades. It's not even a story game really. It's a multiplayer game.
I feel like we're in a good age for single player games like Red Dead.
Yep, Red Dead, like, God of War.
There's so many games that are great coming out, but there's nothing like I can hop on. We can hop on and play over and over, because I mean it's just battle royales. Like there's no big multiplayer games coming out that are like new or innovative.
No, not at all.
Which sucks.
Because you think about the big ones. You think about Rocket League. You think about League of Legends. You think about Fortnite, even though I don't even know. I guess Fortnite's still big. I don't really know if it's not. But Fortnite, Warzone, all those games that are popular are the ones that control that scene. Like a game that's dying out, that is, I mean, it's crazy that they're even still in business, but wow. World of Warcraft is dying. Like 100%. I was watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos on it. It's basically the same formula that they've been using since they started the game. You'd have after vanilla, you would do an expansion, hype up the expansion. Don't listen to the people who play the beta or stuff like that, and then they would just update you and try to get you excited for the next patch the next patch, and then once the patch is out, you start to move on to getting excited for the next expansion. Now back then it would work because people would actually be excited about the next expansion because they enjoyed the game.
Right.
Now the game is just dying because the system sucks for XP. The system sucks. It seems like a lot of games, and this is a problem with a lot of games, is they're using pay me now, or what is it called? It's called in-game purchases or microtransactions.
Oh, dude.
That is destroying video games. That is absolutely destroying games.
Yeah.
It's pay to win now. It really is. There are some games like WoW. I know one thing that people are upset about. I haven't really played probably in about 3 or 4 months.
I haven't played in a while, yeah.
One of the things is vanilla came out, like the classic WoW came out. And after that, they're releasing the Burning Crusade. So you can put your character in the Burning Crusade. You can put one character in the Burning Crusade, but if you want to put another one, you have to pay $15.
Like there's no reason for that other than just being greedy.
It
like,
really
they're killing
is.
Their own game.
They are murdering their game, and it's a game that's already been out, and you're already paying a monthly subscription. That's the crazy thing, is that they're just. I'm paying $15 already to every month. That is crazy.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, man.
Play that game a couple of years. It's like $500. Like that's crazy.
That's why I think those kind of games are dying, and that's. The sad part is that MMORPGs, what's next? Valheim was fun. We didn't really finish it. Or
I never got into it. I think that's just because I didn't give it a whole try, though.
We could try that again. Valheim I heard was really fun.
I heard it was fun.
Ark
I
is
played,
fun.
The roof wouldn't even build, and I just would never play it again.
Ark was fun.
Ark is so fun. I love Ark. No one will play with me, though.
That's because we try to tame scorpions and try to take out big dragons and shit, and they don't fucking get it.
Dude, flying around in that game's so fun. That's my favorite part.
I just, like, what's the end goal, though? I never really got the end goal.
They're, like, end game bosses.
I didn't know there were bosses.
But they're, like... Because the game is designed to play with, like a clan or whatever, a tribe. And you're supposed to have, like, 20 people in your tribe. The end game bosses, like... It's not like you can, play for, like, a couple days and beat the boss. It's like you have to grind for, like, months to build, like, an army of dinosaurs, Like, it's serious.
So that's... At least the grind pays off. Games like WoW, the grind doesn't pay off anymore.
And so do you think WoW's dying because, like, games are moving away from that style? Or just because I feel like no one liked the past couple expansions? Like, Legion people kind of liked, but other than that, I feel like everyone just doesn't like the game anymore.
That's the issue with what's going on with WoW, is that they don't have any hooks. Like, Legion was a great game because of... Did you finish it? Like, did you play the entire expansion?
I see. I'm not a raider, so if that counts, then no. But I did play the expansion, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, the ending of the expansion, I don't know if you played till, like, the end of the story, like, when you went to the alien planet shit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the things people got upset about is that they started to use systems that were so, like, world quests and stuff like that were so boring. There was no, new. There was nothing spicy to say about the game.
And I feel like it's just, like, artificially creating things to do by just giving you the same stuff over and over.
Exactly, and that's boring. Why would I want to pay $15 a month for something that is just over and over and over again, and it's not fun? And just wait for it's basically a placeholder. If you're going to make content until it's for the next patch. Yeah. You're just making content that will last somebody, like a speedrunner. I've seen people do it on Twitch. They fucking did it in they finished the entire expansion or for that patch in, I think, like 24 hours. That shouldn't be possible.
It shouldn't be.
Like, I get it that they're the exception and they do it for a job and they do it just for fun, but that shouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
For a game like that.
Yeah, and like because Legion was the last expansion I played, and because I heard terrible things about the new ones.
Awful.
I remember the build up to Legion was super cool for me because there were, like, the world events, but instead of just being the same thing, it was like you go and there's, like, a giant boss everyone kills, and, like, you can get different gear. And it wasn't designed to, do every day, months on end. It was like, it happened for, like, a week. You did it a couple times, and it was super cool. And then Legion came out.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, the daily world quest where if you miss one day, it's just, like, whatever. Like, it doesn't feel like you're accomplishing anything. It just feels mindless,
I heard some guy I really like watching stream was Asmongold, and I forgot what he said. It was... I forgot what it was, the quote. I wish I could fucking pull it up. But it was something along the lines of, World of Warcraft, you used to enjoy wasting your time. Now it's just wasting your time. Something along those lines. Grinding. It was like you would lose time playing WoW, but now you're just wasting time.
Yeah.
Because it's just boring.
Sad.
It really is, because that game I loved as a kid. That game made me feel so connected with people. And nowadays, nobody wants to be social. You go up to somebody, hey, will you do this with me? They want none of the quests. The quest back in the day used to be, you could not do this unless you had two people.
Nowadays, you can literally, like, solo grind, like, every level in, like, a couple days if you really try. Because now it's 1 to 60 or whatever, 1 to 70, whatever it is. You can literally get there solo, not doing anything with anyone else, super quick.
And that's a problem with gaming right now, is that we really enforce people who just don't want to communicate with others. And I get it. There are people who are introverts and they don't like talking to people. But at the end of the day, if a game requires you to do that, that's what makes it fun. Because then that's how you meet friends. That's how you meet the guys that you'll always play with.
And, like, gaming is where those people actually interact. When you're typing over online, that's where those people might feel actually comfortable.
Yep.
Like, it's the only place they can. So taking that away,
it's bad. We're going to grow up. We're going to keep getting older, and people are just going to be so fucking socially awkward. It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, in 20 years, we'll really see the effects of internet on children. Because I feel like my generation, I don't even know if we're the same generation, really.
I'm technically a millennial.
I think I'm gen, like...
You're the same, I think,
whatever.
as... Because Dave's not a millennial. 96 is the cutoff for millennials. Dave's the next generation, technically. 97 and up is...
That's funny.
I know. It's fucked up.
And
So when people say fuck millennials, they're saying me. And it's like, I don't really consider myself a millennial.
I mean, when you're right on the border, I mean, it's kind of just like a... It's indistinct.
I think me and Aunt Jenny are in the same generation.
Yeah,
Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Right?
And,
That's
like,
fucked up.
It's okay to, like, try to give, a range. But a lot of the time, like, the end cutoffs are, like, basically the same thing.
Exactly. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I see with gaming nowadays is a lot of games that I grew up with and those genres are either dying out or they're definitely suffering because of the new genres that are coming out, like the battle royales. What else is big? I mean, I wouldn't say Rocket League's that detrimental. I mean, Rocket League is Rocket League's cool because it's a game that lasts 5 minutes if you want it and you can leave it any time. It's not a game that you have to pause.
The detrimental part is when Epic took over, and the whole free-to-play idea of a game is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
everyone loves free-to-play games, but the cosmetic items went from, a new Rocket League cosmetic item comes out. It used to be like $3 to $4.
Yeah.
Now each item is actually $20. So each item that you want to purchase is the entire old price of the game. So even though you're getting the game for free, any purchase you ever want to do basically completely makes it useless that the game's free.
Well, I think Epic is one of the most, I hate to say, I think Epic is one of the most greedy companies ever. I get it, you want to capitalize on making money, but like you said, something that went from $3 to $4 for cosmetics is now, you're spending, what, $20 on tires, or why would you spend that? And I'm sure there are people grabbing their mom's credit cards, just going and buying it.
So many people.
And
are
it's
doing
just
that.
not, the money thing is what makes it not fun. Back in the day, not even back in the day, just being able to go and buy a game from GameStop and buying the whole game was awesome. Now, even in console gaming, look at this DLC. Give me the fucking complete game, because $60 is a lot of money, bro.
So much
As you
money.
grow up, you start to realize, like, because when I was a kid, it's like, okay, $60 is a lot of money, but like, it's a standard game. Okay, I'll get $60, I'll play the game. Now it's like, you think about it, damn, $60 for a game that's not done. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, the DLC would be on there like $20, and it's like, really?
How much money do you think you spent on fucking League of Legends?
I would like to not give that information out.
I hate to say it, but I've probably spent over like $2,000.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think I have like 300 skins.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's so
It's
bad.
like embarrassing,
That's
but
so bad, and it's a free game.
But when you think about it, like, so what I've spent, I think I've spent almost 3,000 hours. The amount of money versus the time I've spent. So what, like $1 for every 3 hours I play the game? Like, I go to the movies and pay $20 plus, candy.
Yeah.
For 2 hours of entertainment.
So that's like a $300
The
movie.
entertainment, like hours to money, is still great.
Yeah.
Like, that for me is my favorite part about video games. Is like the amount of time you get out of them is amazing. You can basically just, I was gonna say waste time. You can basically just immerse yourself.
Well, yeah, countless. How many games have we played together where we would laugh our asses off or we would rage, even though those moments where we would, troll people on Rocket League and lose, those were fucking painful moments. But those were fun as hell. We think back about it, where I talk about this all the time when we game. When I was I know exactly where I was. I was in South Carolina. I brought my laptop just because I wanted to play, because I was addicted to gaming. I still am. And we were playing Rocket League, and I was on the shitty internet in the hotel.
Yeah.
And we were playing these kids who were toxic to us first. And they were doing what we usually do first.
I think I remember this.
And they beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Like, I think they beat the shit out of us twice.
And then didn't we replay them and end up winning?
We destroyed them.
And that's the best feeling in the world.
I still say that was the best feeling I've ever had with a game. Because I was straight up, like, running up and down. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, let me hit something. I want to make sure I might have to record from here. I think that YouTube is recording, but I definitely want to record just in case. So.
Yeah, this whole time. Nothing's been
I mean, it's streaming, but I changed the setting on YouTube just to test it out because it was kind of fucking me up. But at the end of the day,
I don't know how YouTube works. 'Cause on Twitch, I mean, you have your VODs, which is like automatic.
YouTube's definitely a little weirder. It should archive it for me, but I'm gonna just do this just in case. So I'm just gonna do a little quick intro. Having my guest on, Alex Galvin. He is my cousin, great person, horrible gamer. All right, here we go. If this is where the podcast starts, there was actually about 40 minutes before this. It shouldn't. I actually should have pressed record before, but it says online that YouTube will send me the video and it'll be on private. So there should be no reason that there isn't recorded, but if there is, you guys have missed about 40 minutes, so deal with it.
It was good stuff.
It was. We were talking about college, COVID in college, gaming, you know. I was trying to think about what I wanted to say about gaming until I checked over there and I saw that it wasn't recording. And
then it's just out of your mind.
Yeah, no, I lost my shit a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is a good one because you can answer this. Emma was on the podcast and she isn't too big on gaming or anything. So what do you think the effects of streamers are on kids now? Like, how do you think that affects how kids grow up? Because you grew up with streaming.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard question because, I mean, you can say this about anything. Like, oh, it depends on the kid, you know?
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, one of my favorite streamers is Ludwig. And, I mean, I don't watch him that much anymore, but I used to watch him a ton. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this, but he kind of always talks about, like, parasocial relationships, about how, you know, you feel like the streamer's your friend.
Yeah.
And that, like, he talked about how he started getting, like, a lot of people, like, being upset with him or, like, thinking they can, like, try to control, like, what he does, you know? And he basically said, like, I'm not your friend. I'm literally just a TV show.
Yeah, I mean, he's right.
But I feel like no one views it like that,
No,
obviously.
No, you feel connected to that person.
Yeah, no matter if someone has 10 viewers, you can type in the chat. If someone has 10,000, you can type in the chat. And even though they'll never see your 10,000, if there's 10,000 people, they're not going to see your message.
Yeah.
You still feel like you're interacting with them. And so, I mean, I definitely can't say how I think it'll affect people. But I think, like, how I see it, I don't think it's good. I mean, I don't think anything weird. Good comes out of it. It's not to say that the streamer is controlling the audience in a way that's, you know, dubious or, like, you know, trying to do something that's mean or anything, or villainous, I guess, in a way, because you're paying this guy to game. At the end of the day, you're giving this guy a subscription that's $5 or $10 or $25, and, you know, you're doing that. And on top of that, there's donations, which is fine. This guy wants to make a career out of it. I think that there are more kids nowadays who want to be YouTubers and streamers than there are who want to be astronauts. Oh, that is not even close, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, right?
Like,
I mean,
that's like NBA and NFL players, I legitimately think streamers probably like the biggest child aspiration.
Yeah, YouTube and streaming. It's like the resurgence. I've used that word a lot recently on the podcast. I'm trying to limit my words like and resurgence, but it's the resurgence of being an actor. Like, I feel like that was something that people wanted to do a lot, and it's still something that it's a very popular thing that people go to Hollywood and they try to become an actor. Now, instead of trying to be an actor, people are trying to be YouTubers and streamers. I mean, look at my dumbass. I mean, at the end of the day, it's fucking true. But it's not a bad thing, but it's something that I feel like can be a bad thing.
I think it just depends on whether you take it as a hobby and you're like, I will be happy doing this if no one watches me. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, even if in the back of your mind, you're like, there's that 1% chance I'll blow up.
Exactly.
0.01%, whatever. It changes when you're like, I'm doing this to blow up rather than I'm doing this as a hobby that, you know, I'm not putting anything into. And if you start streaming with the attitude of, I want to blow up, like, that I think will hurt.
Yes.
The person.
Yes.
And just, like, if a lot of people start doing that, there's just a lot of people who get disappointed, and then, you know, it's just not good.
That's what happened. That's why with this podcast, I would love for it to blow up. And I write down my goals for the month, goals for the week, and I expect this to grow gradually. My thing that I had when I was streaming games, I enjoy playing games. I love playing games. I wasn't, you know, really good at the games. And one of the things that I realized while I was streaming was the thing that I enjoyed about streaming was the rush of getting a follower, a subscriber. I wasn't enjoying doing the content.
Yeah.
Now that I'm doing the podcast, I don't care if, you know, I have 0 people viewing me right now or I get 1 view after the stream. It'll grow, but it will grow when your interest grows because like when you're streaming and you're not like you said, when you get bogged down, you don't see you don't see the results you want to get, you start to get a little depressed. That's when you start to produce dog shit. That's when you start to, like, you know, you're talking like this, you know, yeah, I'm playing games. Your motivation lacks a little bit. You're not doing as much. And you're trying to force something that's not there. Like I was saying with the podcast, I enjoy doing this. This is my second podcast, and I love having conversations with smart people. I like having conversations that are funny. I like knowing new things. This is something that I could do for a very long time and not get bored of. Gaming, I was bored. Like, I playing the same games, I don't have a problem with. It's the fact that I wasn't good at them, and I felt like I was trying to force something that wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then you get depressed when you don't see the numbers. You don't see that. It's not a bad thing to get excited about numbers. It's not a bad thing to feel proud that you got 10 subscribers or 10 followers. It is detrimental and damaging if you get, like, so depressed when you just started streaming a year ago and you're not fucking Ninja.
I feel like you can think about it like any other hobby. Like, say, you know, I started, like, golfing on the side, and I'm like, it would be awesome to get better. It would awesome to be, you know, put up, like, good numbers, go out and golf, and be really good.
Yeah.
Maybe I golf a lot, and maybe I'm in my hobby, there's a 0.0% chance I'll just happen to be amazing at golf and go pro.
Yeah.
But you have to think about it, like, when you start your hobby and you start golfing, the goal is not to go pro. The goal is to enjoy yourself. And even if your goal is to get better, it's not to become the pro. It's to get better, to have fun because you enjoy it, you know?
Exactly.
It should be the same thing with streaming. Like, the goal is to get better at stream, but the goal is to maybe have more viewers because you enjoy that.
Yeah.
You enjoy having more viewers. It's not to gain money. It's not to be the biggest streamer ever. It's because you like interacting with those few people, you know?
I've played golf. Little tidbit about golf. I played golf probably right now, probably 2 years, and I fucking suck. But I have gotten significantly better. The thing about golf that annoys the shit out of me is if I crack the ball right, I can almost hit the ball fucking... I haven't hit it farther than, I think, 350 yards. But I could fucking crack it. If I hit it right and get it straight, that shit's going fucking 400.
Yeah.
That's the fucking fucked up thing is... I keep saying fuck. I keep saying it too much. That's the thing that's fucked up. Is, I'm trying to limit it a little bit. Sorry. I'm still learning how to talk.
Trying to fucking limit it.
For real, bro. So I drive it, and it goes straight to the right. If I'm able to correct that, that's amazing. And that's, I guess we could bring that back to the podcasting and the streaming, is when you finally get something right, it feels so fucking good. Right. It is so satisfying. And that's like with a hobby. Like you're saying with like when you play guitar and you hit that lick that you really wanted to hit and you get it perfect, that's an achievement. If you're basing your achievements off of subscribers, followers, how are you getting better at your craft? You're really just showing the product of your craft, not really like, oh, wow, I, did something like a cool, I don't really know you could say about streaming. I did like a cool segment, right? I did a cool segment that
created a like game show or something on stream.
Yeah, that popped off. That's why I got more subscribers. Not I went on and, look, some random guy showed up and 3 people followed just because they were bored. And they'll never show back up to the stream again.
Yeah, that's a big thing is like continuity too. And that's also just kind of separate topic, but like the difference between YouTube and Twitch I feel like is huge because I mean there's people streaming on YouTube, but I mean like creating videos. Twitch is very weird because you have to be consistently entertaining. If there's like 10 seconds that you're not entertaining, if you're a small streamer, people are going to leave.
Exactly.
You have to be entertaining for the entire time without fail. And I feel like that's a skill that like very few people have.
Oh, and if anything, you have to learn it. Even if you're the most entertaining kid in class, you have to learn how to be entertaining for nonstop.
Yeah.
Like how I don't really watch Ludwig, but I mean that guy seems like he's on the ball the entire time when he's streaming.
Yeah.
Like even when he's sleeping, that's funny.
Yeah. Like even when he was sleeping, he had people donate and then they could play videos. So there was all these funny videos. And then he had his mods basically talk and like do different things. So like even when he was sleeping, it was constantly entertaining.
Because he's that's smart. See, that's... I feel like people think that if you're just going to go in and stream, you go in without a plan and you just be yourself. You want to be yourself. But you also have to understand that now that there's so much competition and so much stuff... Again, forget about the competition. Don't even think about that. Because if you want to do this for a hobby, be yourself, but also... be smart, because if you're gonna go in there and just not talk and play a game and you're just sitting like this the entire nobody's gonna watch you. You're not entertaining.
Yeah, like unless you are the best at that game, no one will watch you.
Exactly.
Because there's people doing that exact same thing who are better than you. So why wouldn't they just go watch them?
Yeah, so I mean, you need to bring some kind of flavor, and
Exactly.
some stuff that PewDiePie used to say is, when you're making videos, make videos because you want to make videos. Don't make videos just to become famous. Make videos, and that is kind of like a double meaning, I would say. He's saying do it because you want to do it, but also if you're going to do it, people will know if you don't want to do it.
I feel like people can tell when someone else is genuine, like 95% of the time.
Yeah, 100%.
It's super hard to fake being genuine.
And that's why I think PewDiePie survived. Is he's probably the most genuine YouTuber. He goes in there and he does things because he enjoys them.
And like when you're enjoying yourself, people can tell, and that's just like more attractive to watch. Like if
Yeah.
even like streaming, if you're enjoying yourself and having fun when you're playing a game, that's just a way better environment than if you're forcing yourself to play for views. People aren't going to want to watch that. You're going to be less funny during that. You know?
I mean, it's not funny to watch a comedian saying the same jokes over and over again.
Yeah.
And just like reading off of a fucking card. It's funny when the guy's into it. He's laughing at himself. He's doing those cool little showmanship things. That's what makes you immersed. And that's what is the same correlation when it comes to streaming and YouTube and all that stuff, is that you need somebody who's not just reading off of a cue card. You need somebody who's actually giving you content that's original and funny, or if it's not original, at least add a twist to it. I feel like I watch TikToks now, and I know you said you don't watch TikToks as much, but I'm addicted. I'm addicted. So TikToks, people, I will literally see the same idea with like 15 different people. Same idea, same amount of views. I don't know how, because I watch it and I feel like people, I don't even know. It's so hard to say because it's the same thing repeated over and over again. I don't understand how it's popular.
Yeah. TikTok's also a weird thing because you just have so many people watching that like, some of the videos have actually like 50 million likes. That's not even views. Like 50 million different people have clicked like. Like, just that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, 50 million people have taken the time the other day to click like in a video. Like,
well, I was listening to Gary Vee, and he was saying that, I don't know if it was him or somebody he had on his podcast. He said that people consider likes now as their currency. Like, they're giving you their like is like them giving you like a piece of them or something, like currency or something like that.
It's kind of how it works now.
It does. I mean, really, you look at YouTube when it comes to like and subscribe. When you're subscribing, in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. You click a fucking button and that's it.
Yeah.
But when you subscribe, I feel like nowadays, even myself, when I subscribe to somebody, I'm subscribing to them because like I feel like I want to get to know these people in a sense with their content.
Yeah.
So like subscribing is like a commitment kind of.
It is, yeah. And like it's so easy to do, and like, you know, the person would probably be happy about it. Yet you're not going and subscribing to every channel you watch. So like there's something about it that feels like I can only do this to certain people. Like it's a commitment, like you said.
It really is. It feels like you're really connecting with those streamers and YouTubers. All right, so I got another little thing to talk about here. We got anime questions.
Oh god.
This is going to be a fun one.
Oh,
now, something that I'm doing on the stream that I'm working on with the stream, so this is something you guys should bear with me. I have like talking points on here. I need to get a little bit better with talking, but we'll get to that later on. Second stream jitters, we'll get to it. So, anime. What's your favorite? If you were to pick out of the ones you've watched, I know you haven't watched too many, but what would you say?
I would have to say Naruto, and that's like the most basic bitch response.
I'm surprised you didn't say Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think just because there's only one season so far, it's hard to put it above.
I haven't watched it yet. Don't spoil shit.
Even though I might think it's a better anime, because it's only 24 episodes so far, I'm not as involved with the characters. Like Naruto, I'm like emotionally invested.
Oh my god!
Because I watched 700 episodes
you would get
of those guys. Like that's so much time.
We could talk about Naruto. If you haven't seen Naruto already, that's your fault. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but if you haven't seen Naruto, man, it's been out since what, 2004.
Yeah.
Like when Jiraiya died, I lost my shit,
dude.
I lost my shit because I didn't know. I know that you had some of it spoiled for you.
I'm good at like putting things out of I'm good at forgetting things, which is the most useless skill possible.
Well, no, not if you're trying to watch a show.
True, that's the one.
Right? Yeah,
the
that
one
sounds
instance.
dope.
Yeah, like even though like I knew he died when I started watching like the original Naruto, so that was way before I even like met him.
Yeah.
I literally like just forced myself to forget that. So then by the time it happened, I was like, oh shit. Like, and also Naruto, I feel like is super hated on. I feel like everyone's kind of saying,
It's
or
because
at least
it's
nowadays.
it's the basic. I feel like that's the introduction into anime now. And
Yeah.
I got into Naruto probably literally the time you got into Naruto in the sense of how old you were. I was 19 or 18 or 19 when I got into it.
too.
And I watched it. That show made me feel so good in certain points. I mean, the filler, obviously, back then, anime filler is pretty bad. Even now with the Shippuden, filler was awful.
Yeah.
But
You can skip it, but
bro, that anime, that really affected me, like to the point where I felt so good about certain points. Like I felt connected. Like I was there when Jiraiya died. Like I felt like hurt, like my grandfather died. Like it was painful because that guy, you were like sitting there and you're like, there's no way he just died.
yeah, like you're thinking like there's no way that they would do that.
And you know what's crazy is anime is like standard now. That is, it's not about like
So much more mainstream.
weebs hiding anymore. Now it's
Yeah.
like you got like people like Declan coming out and he's just a he's a weeb.
Declan's different. Declan's
He's like a
weeb.
he's like a Giga Chad weeb combined.
No, it was crazy to me. Like a year and a half ago, I had never talked to my friends about anime before because they were just not those type of people.
Yeah.
I thought. And then one time we're all sitting there, and someone's like, "Dude, like, did you watch like episode blah 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 of Naruto?" And everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And like I looked over and I was like, "Wait, like, you guys watch anime?"
It makes no
like,
sense. It makes no sense. It really doesn't. Like I went to my tattoo guy, right? And I got my little Adventure Time tattoo. But he was telling me that he hates doing tattoos for Naruto unless they're cool ideas because he's like Naruto
many.
is so mainstream. He's like people don't even he's like it's not that I don't like doing Naruto tattoos. He's like I hate it that Naruto is now just this mainstream. I'm doing it because it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it because I love the show. I'm not doing it because it's just like an aesthetic. It's an aesthetic or whatever the fuck it is. Aesthetic.
Yeah,
Can't
aesthetic.
fucking speak. But like that's what it is now. It's like, oh my god, look at my Naruto tattoo.
I feel like it became mainstream so quick. Like I feel like it went from, at least in my mind, maybe.
I know exactly what you're talking
like
about.
it went from being like, oh, like I'm not gonna go tell all my friends I watch anime to like a lot of people I know just watch anime.
I'm not watching like little kid cartoons, I swear, because anime it really isn't. Like I've watched some that I would recommend if you like investigative stuff, investigation stuff. Is Death Note. Death Note is.
I want to watch it.
It's interesting. It's definitely an interesting one because it's not as fast. Imagine like you ever watch the ID channel?
No.
Like murder mysteries and shit.
That's not really my thing.
It's kind of like that. You're basically like a guy's trying to capture another guy. The entire 36 episodes or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think I like know loosely what it's based on.
It's a cool concept, but I wasn't really about it. There's Seven Deadly Sins is a great one. I really recommend that to anybody. But yeah, here's another one. This is something that you'd be excited to talk about. How much and hold up. When did you first watch Avatar?
Oh.
Yeah, now we can get into like the fun shit.
So I remember when I was really little watching Avatar, but I was like too young almost to watch it in order. Like I watched it,
Yeah.
not really knowing the whole plot line. I just watched it, just like, oh my god, like that's water, so cool, you know. But then I watched the whole series through probably like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the day I finished it, I actually felt empty inside afterwards.
My god,
I
yeah.
was like, wait, like I just spent like 3 days straight binging a show. Like, I mean that happens with lots of shows, but I was like, I will never like see those characters again. And it felt like I was like, man, felt like I lost friends, you know?
That you are literally quoting something that I live by. Is that it was written on I remember it was like my elementary school fucking English class. It said, I think it was like along the lines of, it's a good book when it finishes and you feel like you lost friends.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
And that's so true. Avatar, I can tell you the exact moment when I watched the finale. We were leaving my house to go to your house. To Pennsylvania. We went to your house. We straight up were sitting in Timberbrook in my house, and I was watching it on my little like 10-inch TV.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, "Well, we gotta go," and I'm like, "No, I need to stay and watch this. I've been waiting for this to premiere for like
tears pouring
2
down
weeks.
Your face.
When it finished, when I watch that, I get chills watching that.
I know.
I
The last
really get
episode
chills.
is so good.
But it's so bad because it's over.
Yeah, and that was like a feel good. I'm a very like feel good ending person. That's what I like. Even if it's cliche.
Oh, so
like,
do
if
I.
it ends feel
Of
good,
course.
I'm like, nice.
Of course.
Like, if things end bad or like end sadly in a show, I'm like, damn, I hate
Yeah,
my
like
life.
when that favorite character just dies, like sacrificing himself. Of course it's sad. You don't want to see that because you've been emotionally invested in something. You don't want to see that go away. Like Katara and Aang and Zuko and all them. They could have easily killed off somebody. And the detail.
Sucked.
There are details in this
sucked.
show that I never saw in any other show probably recently when it comes to like a kid. I guess it's more of a kid show, but
Yeah.
when Toph is hanging off the balloon, you can tell what was it? It was like when Toph's hanging off the balloon. Oh, the only thing that she can feel is Sokka because she's holding on. It was something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's her only lifeline. It was just like, and you can start to see tears in her eyes, and I'm like, oh my god, this show is so emotional. You start to like really get built up, and you get sad.
Dude, you're invested at that point.
You are fully committed to these characters, and of course, the greatest character is Uncle Iroh. How could you get past that man?
So when I'd watched it all the way through, loved it, felt like I lost friends, whatever. So then I told Dave to watch it. We watched all the way through. It felt more like a kid's show my second watch through. Like the first time I was like, this is so good, and then the second time, up until like literally the last episode, I was like, wow, like this is like more like childish and like than I remember it being. And I think because in the second watch through, since you know what's coming, it feels less like you feel less involved, or at least I did, because it was less like intense. You know? So it was weird, but on the second watch through, I literally thought, wow, Uncle Iroh carried the show. He's the greatest person to ever live. Like, of
course,
like he carried it so much harder than I remember.
When you watch a show for the second time, you're much more critical. You are definitely much more critical because you know what's going. It's like when you read a book the second time. But the cool thing about being critical is that you get to see the little details that you didn't see before.
True.
Like with Iroh, when you were a kid, you hear Iroh's advice. Oh, that's cool. There's a funny fat man saying something that's like wise, right?
Yeah.
Now when you're older, you apply those things. You really feel like what Iroh's saying is true.
Like when he's saying it, you're like, damn, this guy's actually wise.
Did you ever hear about? You saw obviously the Tale of Iroh.
Yeah.
Fun fact about that, you probably know this, but I don't know if anybody else knows this. The Tale of Iroh is a song that was last recorded by the original Iroh person, Mako. Yeah. Mako was dying of cancer, and that was the last thing he ever recorded before he died, I believe. And it was the song.
Yeah, so sad.
The picture in the tree is a picture of Mako. His son is actually a picture of the real-life Mako, and he's crying because he knows that he's dying. I just got goosebumps thinking about that scene.
So sad. Like, that's just so sad.
And that's in a fucking kids show.
And the kids never will know that.
Until they're older. Yeah.
But then, like, when you realize what's going on, it's like, holy shit, this is so sad.
Like, that was deep. Like, yeah. And the cool thing about it, I got a gift for Steph from a cameo from the voice actor of Uncle Iroh. Not Mako, but the second season one. And he refuses. I didn't ask him to, but I know this is a little fact about him. He refuses to sing that song. He'll never sing that song. He says, that's not my song to sing. That's Mako.
That's cool.
It's so... Like, it's crazy to see how much actual emotion is put into kids' shows. Because, bro, I'm 24 years old and I just got an Adventure Time tattoo. Adventure Time's another show that if you watch it when you're older, there are so many more messages that you'll get out of it than anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
It is fucking... I know that the first few episodes are like a little... They're definitely like the first season or two is childish as shit. Yeah. But when you start getting on to all the other things, you start to realize that the show is a lot more deeper messages and that the creators were definitely on some fucking acid. But like, bro,
with that show, yeah,
there is some cool stuff that they have. Circling back to Avatar, if you look at Avatar's main concepts, genocide, dictatorships, political control, like the Earth Kingdom, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. Bro, that is just like dictatorship or like a puppet. right? Like, I mean, they're using so many adult themes in a kids show that's teaching, like racism, really. Like, they're talking about Nazis in a sense, like just thinning out the impurities.
And it's so crazy because, you know, when you're a kid and you watch that, like, all that stuff just seems like, oh, it's just like a funny story. You
It's
don't
just
really
a bad
understand
guy, right?
Yeah. So it all just, I don't know. Like, kids shows, because, like, you know, Avatar, Adventure Time probably would be considered kids shows, but, like, there's so much, like, more to some of them, you know?
Yeah.
And I struggle to say that because, like, nowadays I feel like child cartoons are just such dumb stuff.
Oh my God.
Like,
see, when you get older, I feel like kids are going to realize how dumb their cartoons are. I'm not trying to be that older guy who says that,
Back
you know,
in
my shit's better. But I really do believe that not really back. I mean, Adventure Time ended in 2015, 2016, maybe a little earlier or later than that. But that show, I feel like, was that and Regular Show were the last of the good cartoons that actually had meaning. Now you have The Amazing World of Gumball.
Okay, that show's actually kind of good.
Oh my God, me and Dave hated that show.
No, I'm telling you, that show's kind of good. That's like a loved show by like everyone.
I know, and I don't know why. Like
I don't either. I just know that people say it, and I've watched some episodes, and I'm like, wait, it's kind of good.
Oh my God, bro, I can't with that show. Like, another show that's actually pretty good is Korra. Get into it. If you really watch it, this is what I'd say about that. The first 2 seasons are dog shit. The rest of the seasons, fantastic.
Well, that's half the show. It's only 4 seasons.
But I'm telling, it's worth it. First season is like, it's not too bad. It's not horrible.
First season was just so boring.
It is boring. It's boring.
I stopped.
The second season's actually a little bit more action packed, but the story behind it's kind of shit. But yeah, that's basically what I'd say about that show. All right, well, honestly, I think that's all I got for you right now. What do we get? An hour and 6 minutes? Not too bad. So
something like that.
We were supposed to have one other guest here today, and he last minute canceled on us, so I had to change up a lot. Yeah, he was simping. I had to change a lot of the things that were going on with this stream. So hopefully we can get them back. I can get you back on and get Declan on, and we can have some more intelligent gaming conversations, because I definitely had a lot of questions for him saved up. So
yeah,
we'll get that going. Maybe we can get your brother on. I'm trying to get Dave on for some philosophical talks. You know, maybe get Bob on here. That'd be really cool. But I mean, you know, it'd be cool to have you on again, talk about some more stuff. I know that
anytime
we got some good stuff in today, but I know we have a lot more conversations based off of what we talk regularly.
Hopefully it was recording the whole time too.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm hoping that YouTube did that, and I hope my mic was good, and I hope that the sound wasn't too bad. But you know, we'll figure that out. Yeah. Later. All right. Thank you guys for showing up so much. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like. I'd like to thank my guest, Alex Galvin.
Of course. Always. Anytime.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys